I'm looking. Oh, here it is. I was looking for the camera adjustment. Welcome to the next day. So many things to do. I've practically been in the house for the last um, Friday at sometime, let's say Friday at 4 or 2. Friday at 2 to Saturday at 2. In a couple more hours, it'll be 48 straight hours almost in the house. I go outside. I don't even want to look outside. Can't look outside. How can I look outside? Am I programmed, reprogrammed? Have I become deprogrammed? Deprogrammed, what does it mean to be deprogrammed and reprogrammed? So let me adjust my gains over here. Okay, I like it like that. That white balance is telling me to stay here. Little white. Little white. I don't want too much white balance. The sharpness. You know, it's the sharpness on the computer to what I desire. Look at those wrinkles. Look at those wrinkles. That's not sharp. That's pretty sharp. Yeah, that's sharp. Saturation. You notice the rate of saturation enlightens the gray and the blue. The contrast. The contrast. See, now in this contrast, it's like I'm on the other side of the film, and everything you look at me, I look really like I'm on the other side. So what's actually happening during the contrast of this element? Now the brightness. What do we do? If it's too bright, so you're a very bright student. If you're a very bright student, am I behind the scene or am I in front of the scene? My brightness at 255. And I changed the brightness, and all of a sudden, what was a gray shirt is now looking like a blue shirt. What is the purpose of everything that I'm doing? What you see, what you believe you see, how you perceive what you see, the definition and description of what you believe of what you see in the reality and the totality of the actuality of what it is. Brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, white balance, the background composition, and gain, all numerically valued at 50 hertz anti-flicker on my power line frequency, told to me by the properties in my Logitech camera setup. And I'm going to apply that right now and okay it. Put away my Logitech webcam controller. And I should have showed it to you. It's right over here. You know, I have to show you everything or almost everything if I'm going to talk about it. See, let me move that right over here together, right? That's the camera. So those are the rules and the regulations and obligations for everybody who only sees what they think they see is the actuality and the reality of what they see for what they perceive as themselves, and that is their globalin of life. When you learn something, what do you understand when you are learning? How are you learning? What is going into your mind and you learn? Driving a car, driving a truck. What did you learn? You only learned what you know. You see others do something different and you don't know. You've seen them do it and you didn't learn it, but you saw it and you want to learn how the technique works when you drive and all the possible techniques for all the possible situations. How long will it take you to learn a technique in a car? It is the same thing with cooking. How long before you bake the perfect cake? How many people in this world have actually made the same cake, the same way with the same ingredients, yet the taste was different? It doesn't matter what you create. Can you recreate exactly what it is? Can you recreate something that is natural? Naturally? or inside a controlled room. What will be the difference? Well, my friends, the difference is the rain that falls, can it be duplicated or reused indoors? And I'm not going to go through all the scenarios. To make a long story short, it takes a long time before you know if that cucumber grew that way. We checked the water, we checked the earth, we checked everything. Yet this year, we had a different amount of sunlight that came out a different period of time, and I didn't get the same cucumbers. And in fact, this year, okay, because there was something in the air, somebody sprayed something in the air, now my vegetables are no longer the same. I didn't eat something into my body. Imagine, I feel that I'm thin and I'm pretty good shape, but if I stop eating properly, okay, I stop eating properly or abuse anything that I completely don't understand that I'm abusing because I'm just using, drinking too much coffee. The result on your teeth, you don't know the result in your teeth, but 20 years down the line, you know the coffee stain. How long did it take before we learned about coffee stains? How long did it take before we learned about secondhand smoke? How long and at whose arm's length? And will they put their money on the line saying, I'm responsible for what I deliver? I am 100% responsible, no questions asked for what I deliver. But then it says, oh, it could have been something else. It's because of this, and this, and all the outs you can have. You have to close down these outs. You have to close down all these outs. Okay? That if something should happen to you, irregardless, okay, it was never mine. It was always because of something you did. If I give you some food, no, not food. If I repair your computer and then something else breaks on your computer, as long as it's not the component that I changed, that I put in brand new, I can't be held responsible. But if you didn't do it properly, could it have harmed any of the other components in the computer? Like I said, the coffee, you don't know. Secondhand smoke, you don't know. Try this. I believe I've created a perfect cure. Let me look on Google. How long does it take for a perfect cure? And Google says after 2 to 3 weeks in containers, wow. They're talking about cannabis quality. The first thing I says, how long does it take for a perfect cure? And it's 2 to 3 weeks with marijuana. So if you want to get cured, I mean, look at that. I said to Google, I'm going to try see if I can take this down. I mean, because, Google tells you everything, right? It knows. You asked it, it knows. So we can see over here, I looked up this. Always with these wires in the way. Okay, take your time, relax. Everything is about patience. Magic is patience, my friend. Magic is patience. And even if you wait forever, close your eyes. So this is what it says, and it's 2 to 3 weeks. In containers, your cannabis will cured enough to provide a quality experience, but 4 to 8 weeks of cure time will improve it even more. Some strains benefit from 6 months of curing. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm getting to with this piece that I just spoke about. It had nothing to do with marijuana at all. It's just that that's what Google gave me. That's what popped up. So now I have to use, because that's what Google came out with, I have to use that as a basis for something else. 2 to 3, 1.5, 2 is 3, 4 to 8, 2 times 4 is 8. So just looking how their scale is working. So if you're going to create a cure for something, how long does the testing have to take before you know all the side effects, okay, of this cure? And when I talk side effects, I'm actually saying, if you're going to smoke marijuana, how much is going to be too much? How much is not enough? So what are the side effects of too much and too little meaning it's not really a side effect, but I have to use that word, too much or too little THC in your system. So if I start to get the scientific stuff, I'm going to lose everybody. So I just want to say too much or too little. So when it's too little, it's not enough for the cure. And when it's too much, can it be dangerous? Now, if it's just the right amount, will it cure it all the time? And for everybody, but not everybody is the same. So it would be impossible. In fact, if you really take a look in this world, what percentage of the facial features are the same? How many facial features are there really in the world in North America? Google, how many facial features are there really on a human being? Okay, here it is. Okay, here it is. Automatic classification of human facial features based on their appearance. Okay, and you see, it's how they create it. It's how they create it. Now, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. This is freaking fantastic. I am going to show you. Let me make this bigger. Okay, this is perfect, perfect, perfect. Check it out. Where are you, Google? I mean, where are you, camera? Check it out. Okay, wait a second. Now, you want to learn something, you got to learn it from the best. You got to take everything they did, okay, and look back. I mean, we're investigators. That's what it means to understand and learn. So 1 is the complete face. 2, 3. The way they, I don't know if you can see it, there's lines above the eyes. Okay, and then there's D, the lines over the eye, and then the over the eye structure, then the I, the EF. Anyways, it goes to I. They only show 9 in this one. Okay, but I'm going to talk it out because it's really not coming well onto the screen. The mass creation for feature extraction landmark. So there's a lot of facial recognition, and you can see in Hollywood how easy it is to change what you look like in Hollywood. At any time, you can change your face in Hollywood. They have also different kinds of lips, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. They have 27. I'm not sure if it's 27. They have it in black and 2 different colors, different kinds of lips. And Arabian, black, white, Latino, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In white people, listen to this. In white people, there are 9 sets. Okay, the taxonomy of mouths, figure number 6. In black people, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 types of lips. In Asian people, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 types of lips. And in Latino, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of lips. Now, if you listen to this, Latino comes out with number 5. The white comes out with number 9. The black comes out with number 8. That would be Chaldean. The Asian comes out with Gematria. So the English come out with the regular alphabet. And the Latino, it seems like the Latino, this is very, 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 very interesting. White 65, black 29, 11, 11. Asian is 19, 29, 30, 44. The difference between day and night in Asia. Let me count that again. Asian. A-S-I-A-N. We're going to get the camera down over here. How is everybody today? Just the one? Oh, just the none of us. Okay, we're at 1436, and there's absolutely nobody watching, but that's okay. I still have to do this video. So here is Asian, and then we have Latino, 9, 10, Tino, Latino, 9, 10. Then we have white, 65, black, 29, Latino, 12 plus 1 plus 20. I have to start writing a little bit slower. Plus 9, plus 14, plus 15, 29, 38, 48, 58, 59, 69, 71. Wow. Gateway Mars, Latino. 1 and 19 and 9 and 1 and 14. North America. North America, Mars. North America, Mars. AN. North America, Mars, Sun. Cyan. This would say Mars. This is part of Mars. This is another way of saying DC. A represents DC. Then what about I? Because A is in I. Now what about H? What happens to H? Because we have to look at the 8 card and the 9 card and totals. For the reason of games, let's go to casino games to start. Casino and his poker. Is it separated from the casino? Casino poker. The poker house. So Asian is a 15, 35. Is that right? Asian is 44. So we have 8, we have 8, we have 2, we have 2. 16 and 08. 07 and 08. But don't forget the 07, right? It was the 1 times 7. So if it's the 1 times 7, then the 7 gets that. So if I make 4 of them, right, that is a total of 28. That's how you have your first block. So 28 will now represent represents 88. Putting the designs, putting the numbers, taking games, the dice cubes, the deck of cards. You want to know about a measuring tape. Why things are made the way they are? Because that's the way we were programmed. Why am I calling this a square and it looks like a square and you don't see it like a round? How come? Is it because you were programmed and taught that way that this is a square because everybody else sees it as a square? But what if I showed you in a different dimension of the square and we went deeper, 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 even more deeper down into the paper and created depth within the square? Would you see it as a square anymore? What if it was really large and you were inside it? Would you see the square with something inside of it? What if I told you each one of these were cells? How would this work in cells? We have to create cells. This is to become the smallest of all microorganisms, and we have to start from here because this paper is telling us if I go in between any one of these lines without having a straight line, it's telling me, okay, that I am in the flow of. You have direct lines. You either online or you're 45 to the line. If you're in between the line, it's like this. You're just in between the line balancing passage of flow. They also call it a river. When you see it online, you'll see they use the same name online, so you're flowing within one area. But if each one of these was its own cell, is the only way to flow online? That's all our questions. Then we have the French language, which uses these, or the Hebrew language, which uses these, or uses these. These are all tells. Just like in the game of poker, you thought you were just playing a game of cards, right? You stepped into blackjack. You just thought it was blackjack, but while you're sitting at the blackjack table to get 2 cards, to get close to 18, to throw your cards away, say, hey, yours was better than mine. You sit down with a bunch of chips. Why are you sitting down with the chips, right? Is it you want that happy hormone? Why do we do what we do? The happy hormone for everything what we do. And how does somebody else know where our happiness stems from? And why do I jump all over the place? Because that's how this works. This tells you and gives you direction. This over here will now create 7 and 8 equaling to 15 Mars to the 24-hour day. 2 plus 4 equals 6F. 1 plus 5 equals 6F. This is the letter O. This is the letter X. And this is one of the reasons I go with the truth coming out of here. You want to see something, you want to see and understand something that's different, right? You want to find the truth, you got to watch Fox. Anything to do with the cunning fox, because they don't tell you left, right, center, right, wrong, or anything else. Whichever stand they take, it really doesn't matter. Just look at the opposition of all their stances they take, because they open the door, the window, the roof. Fox opens up everything for your eyes to see. Fox 06 plus 15 for the letter O plus 24 for the letter X equals to a total of 45, or 9 times 5 equals to 45. 9 plus 5 equals to 14. 9 plus 5 equals to 14 equals to a total of 59. Minus 45 minus 14, it equals to 31. That 31 is your DC. That is your backwards DC to the cycle of man, or man's cycle. Because inside of this, it's the cycle of the spirit. It will create 31 plus 13 plus 31, 13 plus 31 plus 13 equals 75, equals 57, 75, or 77 times 75, which is the moon of Christ, the cycle of the moon of Christ, the cycle of man. The reverse of Fox is U. Right away, just the first letter you exchange it, it becomes UFO, right? UFO and love UFO. Of equals to 66. That is the passage in the roadway. UFO creation. This reverse over here is L. Becomes 2112. And the reverse over here is C. C plus L plus U equals to 36. It's 33 plus 3 for creation. Remember ABC, right? ABC, ABC, but nothing starts till D. Insert D and A. D and A. But you're actually inserting B and B. 22 is inserted to create D. So BB is in D. The baby is in D, and there's their baby's stomach. And then the baby comes out from the hole over here. So what is 3? Well, that 3 is your creation. And when it's numbers, it's 1 plus 3, 4, plus 3, 7, 2 plus 3, 5, plus 3, 8, 3 plus 3, 6, plus 3, 9. 7 over to 9 is 2, 4 over to 6 is 2, 1 over to 3 is 2. So it's all about 2, 3, 2. Since 1 is inside 5 and inside of 9, there's a whole other scenario that comes out with. So this over here says, in French, lucky ass. It also says dead end. This is what happens when you play EXO. It is 39. It is talking about Mars and the planet House. It is also talking about Saturn, the one spirit in 6. So this ignites one spirit in 6, the house of 6. The roadway is 66. A, B, C equals 6 equals 6. One is the multiplication, and one is the addition. And then you put all these 4 over here, and it becomes the half house. And now in your dice cube, you do that, right? And here's your letter K, by the way. KK, 11, 11. Inside shows the 4 dots to the 1 dot center. I have to make it on big paper. We have to question it. This is very small. This is just a basic. Hold on a second. I got lots of shadows here. I don't like that. This is so, okay. Glad I caught this. So much to learn. My repeating numbers are changing. Been trying to get the words meant by them. Just knew I'll start at the first video. False reality is what I'm sure of. What's the most importance? Wow. False reality is what I'm sure of. What's the most importance if this isn't a real reality? No one around me seems real, even close family. Oh my God. Same. That's why I've spent almost the last 48 hours in this seat. Seems like I'm arranging and rearranging. I don't want to have any of my paperwork out of order because sometimes out of order is okay. But when you have the world around you, bills that come in, and who's picking up the phone? Just another person like me and you trying to hold a job because they didn't think of it before they bought that brand new car or everything in the house or how they spent their money and why it's so important to understand how to spend your money, because every time you spend something, it means you got to spend somewhere else earning that buck. Now, if you're earning a buck, we have to now think of the reindeer and the Bucks. Then I would think of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and they got a new quarterback. So what should we be doing inside our minds? How should we be quarterbacking our life? Who is passing us the ball? Who is ruling the game? Hold on, I got a bill in the mail. Something's wrong. I didn't do my taxes right. What are the taxes for? We all know what we think we know what the taxes for, but if they're not following the platform that was given to the people, then what good? Where is it going to go? And everything seems to change, and everybody that's I'm just rambling on because I don't want to be caught up with the machine trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, other than you trying to use your own mind and to figure out what I'm saying. But it's okay, because if you can't make it and you get welfare, that's okay. Let me look up something online over here. How much do MNAs make after they leave Parliament? How much is an MMA, BJJ, gym member? No. How much money? No. If I'm in the government, what is my retirement and at what age? I'm not sure of the question to ask. People working in the Parliament, what is their pension plan? Let me just see this. I know I'm off the subject, right? Pension. Anyways, I can't talk about it because I don't know the exact figures, but I will tell you one thing. This is for entertainment purposes only. So this person's on welfare, getting $700 a month. They come, they hassle them. They finally get out. They make a few bucks on the side. They don't declare it. They make a few bucks on the side. They don't declare it. They're just getting by. It's so much with the two kids making a few bucks on the side on either unemployment or welfare. And you got to watch your back all the time, and you can't make it, but yet somebody works and gets a pension out of the coffers that we pay, which is fourfold or tenfold of what anybody who desperately needs it. Who comes up with these systems? And if a few cheat, and if there's a few cheaters out there, and other ways, other things also. If you're paying somebody cash, you own a business, you're paying somebody cash, just there should be a new list. I'm paying somebody cash, I'll pay the taxes for them because they don't want to pay the taxes. You don't have to say who it is. I got 6 employees working for me. Don't forget, entertainment purposes, I have nobody working for me. 6 employees working for me. I'm paying them all cash. This is what I paid them. And this is how much they would have been taxed. I'm going to pay all the taxes. They do it when you walk into a department store and they say this month, no taxes on anything you buy. How's that possible? How can a store just go no taxes on anything I buy? Because they've paid the taxes. They don't say who bought it. Well, you're going to know, because every time you sign for that plan, they know who you are. They got your name everywhere just because you signed up. You signed up. You didn't know what you were signing to. Your name's being sold all the time. I've seen the scam. I've seen that consumer, whatever, and they announce the scams. They tell us everything, but nobody puts 2 and 2 together to know. Just want to warm up my coffee. Yeah, I get excited. I get excited. Anybody want to die today? Anybody want to die today? A red die, a blue die? I only got red and blue dies. So does anybody have a die today? We're going to play with all these dies. 3 dies. 1, 2, 3 dies. It's a game called Sickball. Let me read this. Oh yeah, the no one around me. Oh my God, the no one around me. You know, there's a way to look at this. No one around me. Do I want to be around anybody? Do I want to hear or see the reality? Do I want to just shun myself and not keep up? But I must keep up if I want to help alter the change. I want to help alter the change. I don't know why my other camera is on. I just want to see something here. Okay, I have my other camera on, but that's okay. Okay, so it's just a system, whatever it is, and we are the ones in all these positions. We have, when I wrote the title for this, is because of the position we've put ourselves in, and because of the obligations, right? All the obligations we have. If we don't do certain things, we'll have somebody knocking at our door, seizing our bank accounts, etc., etc. That we keep, but we're the ones. We're the ones, the secretaries. We're the ones keeping books. We're the ones. If we can change anything, then we're the ones. If I didn't have to get food on the table to pay my house, how long will it be before they take away your house before you can make change? Or before they take away your car before you can make change? You must eat. Would it take 3 months to change everything? I'd say 30 to 45 days to completely change everything, if the majority of people would just understand and know what to do in order to create change. Change is huge. Taking care of a child for your whole life. You are the child for your whole life. You are the baby inside yourself. You are the same person as 10, as 15, as 20, as 21, as 25, as 40, as 60, as the age you are right now. You have made every single step for every single moment that has passed on, and that is who you are. So inside of you, when you say, I am 57, you are more than 57. You have been and learned and have accumulated 57 years in every single year of your life, in year 2, in year 3, in year 4, in year 5, in year 6. And because of numbers, and I'd like to use, in this world, we can go by 12s. We should actually be going by 6s. I am 9/6 plus 3 years old. I am 9/6. I am going by the Mayan way of counting. What is it? The 18 months of 20 days for 360. Why is the time clock different for us than for them? Why the extra 5 days? Is it a borderline that's around us that creates? Is it because one lives in the core of the earth, cut out, that we don't even see, like Pac-Man? In Pac-Man, some people live on this part, right? On that part of Pac-Man, right? And imagine if Pac-Man, the round just opened up or stretched out a little bit because of the oceans. So the round wouldn't be looking like the same thing as a round anymore. And that V would be the valley, maybe between the mountains. You don't know. Could be the under the ocean. You don't know, because you don't know everything. And no one knows everything. They only believe. And they believe, and it's pushed on to what you see and what you believe. And this was a theory, a thesis. It was what we think it is. It could be. I don't know how many side effects and after how many years have come from X, Y, and Z that you didn't know before, and it didn't happen, but it can happen to you. And what is that percentage compared to the percentage of what it happens if you didn't drink all that coffee, or didn't take too much baking soda, or didn't drink too much milk or orange juice, or smoke too many cigarettes while your teeth are turning yellow and rotting from the inside? You didn't know. But 60 years later, and a generation later, affecting the children that were born from you, that could have happened when it started in your parents, because you just didn't know, and no one can know, and you can only know the possibilities. And how do you know that, oops, there's not very much, oh, there's one? How do you know what the cycle is? How do you know that this year there's one, next year there's one, the year after there's one, the year after there's 10, and then there's one? Accumulation and change. You don't know. You just don't know. And if you say 60%, 70%, 90%, that ain't good enough. It's got to be 99.9% proof alcohol spirit to know the truth. It says it on the bottle of alcohol. It's reflected again in the numeric value for gold, silver. It's a reminder of Jupiter, which is a creation through Venus. More than one Venus, 4 Venuses. Venus is in multiple areas. Venus is in Jupiter. Venus is in Saturn. Venus, or its replica, or its mirror, is in Uranus and Neptune and Pluto. And Mercury, known or understand the difference. We're going to work a little bit different, because I'm going to use the sun as a 0. And that 0 becomes the 6. And we are that 6 through the 9 birth in the transfer of the portal from one side to the other. We call it the 8 hole by the 7th gate. Here is your 8. We had our 9, we had our 6. You just have to complete the design to know. The 8 by the 7th gate. And if I did this properly, I should more or less add the plateau to this, and maybe the curvature. I'm not sure if see, that would be the quarter moons. See, that would be the whole moon. But now what you're seeing is 2 sides. You're actually just seeing two sides. How do I show two sides. How do I do this? No, I don't know if I can show two sides. And how do I turn this one? Is this, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm not really good at this, so I have to do it a few times, and then we take our pen and we just, what angle, we're going to take that pen on an angle, and it's just going to go right through to the other side. So in through gate 7, out through gate 7, but together it is the gate, the 7th gate created by Q. So when we talk about certain things in this world and things are repeated, we're repeating it for the system. The system needs to hear it. And that is the 11th gate of Venus, which is 11 is another way of saying Venus, which is 27, 35, and 23. And 15. They all 70, 15, 23, 35, and 72. Let me do this different. 15, 23, 27, and 35. See, 8, 4, 8. Can I do it again? 8, 4, 8, 4. Is 39 going to do it? No. What this does is they'll all create number 23. And then they'll all create the student, the number 65, which is 11 craps. $11 craps. Hold on a second. EC 53. 53 says 11 craps. 65 is the student, the white student, through the 7th gate, because 7 and white are both number 65. All these numbers will create 23, and then 2 times 3 will create 6, and 2 plus 3 will create 5, as the same as 1 times 5 will create 5, and 1 plus 5 will create 6. Oh, my kitty cat's outside at the window. Let's see. Just let me. Kitty cat. Hey, kitty cat. Okay. Enough with the kitty cat. I'm going to read some of the comments. I'm going to go back to this. Ask me a question. Don't forget, I don't know any of this. I make all this stuff up. Because when I'm saying making it up, I'm just taking what's real and putting the two things that are real and making a story out of it, of what it tells me to say. So that's all it is. Oh boy. You know what? You have to create all the possibilities. When you create it, when a computer is created, every component can be it is all predetermined how every component, and I'm just guessing because this is the way I would do it, and I'm quite sure I'm going to leave out a lot of stuff because I never built computers or anything else. But when you build something, you're going to assume you need all the components. The components will be used to do all kinds of stuff. It can do what it does, but it can't do what it can't do. It's pretty simple. And all the components, how they can work together. And anyways, it's that whole thing. And it's the same thing with the number, with art. You see, 8 comes into the game, but 8 comes into the game as duality. 8 comes into the game as a 1 okay, and a 3 combination, because the building of the letter A is the A and the C. So where does the B come in? Well, the B comes in to create the D. So let me see if I can get a little bit more of this. So here we have the D, okay? Here we have the D, and then here we continue. We create the C, and we drop D on C over here, and then we get can't do it on that side. And then we get that over here. So that's my D on my C, but this C is not finished, right? How much further do I have to go down to create this? Is this the real way C would have to look, coming all the way down this way? Or would it have to, would the C have to come in at one point? Would the C have to come in at one point over here and complete the C by turning around? I don't know. So this would have a meaning maybe, but right now we're using this as C and D. So C and D come together, and that equals to 7. But where do we get D from? See, I need to create D this way. Where does D come from? Well, D, okay, that's where it comes from. That's where the D comes from. D comes right here. Could be another way of just saying MC, if you want to look at it that way. There's no obligation. I just question myself. You have to draw them all and then question and talk. Don't forget, there's different ways of drawing all kinds of numbers. So here, my B is consisting of 2 D's. B equals 2 times D equals to 8. So now you have the cycle of 28. And in French, when they say 80, they're saying 4 times 20. And is this what's happening over here? That's my question. Is that what happens over here? And don't forget, the B and the R is actually looking like 13 and 12. And this would be the female, girl, and this would be the boy, man. Whoop, boy, sorry, boy, man. B2, G7, number 27. We got that right. Electric company, beta creation, B formation. Where else was I? I did the Latino, I did the Asian Latino 88. One is to the gateway, one is the day and the night. The white becomes the student of creation of the DNA. The black becomes the resident angel in the Venus world. This is your Valentine. 102 becomes 162. Out of the queen becomes 72. Okay, let me see where I am. Yeah, seen it. Yes, sometimes you just see it, you know. You go to a movie, you can just actually see what the movie's all about. Dell, yes, absolutely, 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 absolutely. Right, absolutely. Delta, perfect. Delta from Greek, right? Yeah, I always write in capitals. I don't know why. There is a difference between capitals. I just want to show you that here is the B letter and the sound, right? And then, hold on. B letter from the sound, and then the, whoop, the R letter sound, and you can sort of have bear, B and R, and so the bear would be number 25. That would be Earth, and the numeric value for bear is 2 B2 E5 A1 R18 equals 19 equals 26. The dog queen pass gate. And the reason it's the dog queen pass gate, if I got that right, 7, 8, 26, is because the word dog, the word queen, the pass is pass number 66. The numeric value for pass is 55. 55 is created from 16. The church creates 76. It creates a straight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and it created, and the end ends with 6, 7, which was created from the 1 and the 6. So, which is created by the 7th gate, in fact. The bear was number 25 because the B has an E family with it, and the R has the A family with it. So I just put the two together. E and A also says, E and A, when it comes together as 5 and 1 or 1 and 5, right away it relates to Mars and arts and entertainment. And you can look at that two ways. You can look at it and say, hey, I already got an A inside E, but the A inside E going to O, meaning that the spirit right here coming into the world of 6, the 9 birth. I shouldn't say that so quick. It's just because of what this says here. It is the only true 7 in reflection of the dice. Every other side is 5. 4 5s is 20 and 2 7s equaling to 34 DC. Perfection of the 7th gate. 7 times 7 times 7 equals 343 CDC. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 343 is 364. 13 times 28 is the cycle of the moon for 364 days, where there's a remainder of 1.25 days, and that is the Yo 25, O 15, Yo 11 for the student in the game of craps, called out on the roulette table, the universal wheel, where the board splits after number 15, and the other side of the split is on number 15, right? 1 plus 5 equals 6, split on the O, and then we put a fill in between 16 and 21, and we restart on the 22. So that's my 37 split. I should always know the splits are at 37. The center split, okay, the center will be 17 and 20, but we split it at 14 and 23, 1 and 4, 5, 2 and 3, 5, because there's an insert in the center of the roulette. I have the design. If you'd like to see it, just say yes, and I'll try and look for it. Otherwise, say nothing, and I won't. EA Sports equals O Sports. O also meaning water. O can also mean the bones at the same time. Anyways, I went on to start when I was talking about the alphabet, where D and C comes together. But when you have it twice, when you have, I'm going to do this in a small DC, and then you have DC again. Now, do you have it this way? I'm just showing you the D and the C. Do you have it this way? Should I make it bigger? Now, you see the way I only move the half space over here, but over here there's a square, and I move the whole space between. In fact, I moved 2 full spaces here. Why didn't I move the one face over here? Okay, and go over here and go over here. I don't know. Then it would be the same thing, but now we have a little dimension inside of this, and a little dimension inside of this. You can also look at it as a passageway or a doorway, two different doors. I already did this on a design the other day. I'm not going to go back to it right now. So this is your D. So where this comes from is now we have A and C comes together, and that is equal to, we have D and C equals to 7, and 7, okay, slash A from its creation. What happened to B? Well, can we look at this as B? Or do we have to look at this as B? And is that what B actually looks like? We've tied them together. What are we going to do with this? Well, this is talking all in itself. This becomes B, the B letter. Okay, should we round it out? We'll just round it out. Now, what happens here? Was this an automatic? Should I have gone through? I had to go through. This is in between these two. What is it actually telling me? It's telling me that V is in between B. There's a whole situation. I don't know what it is. I'd have to think about it. At the same time, I'm seeing depth. I'm seeing a little bit of depth. Like a roadway. It's like 2 tunnels. It's like 2 tunnels into a rainbow of some sort. How can I bring them all together in my 2 rainbows? Is there a letter M that now comes into the attraction over here? I don't know everything. I'm only one person. Everybody together has to figure this out. And where are we going to get to after we do figure it out? We're going to understand our alphabet a little bit better. We understand our alphabet a little bit better. We'll understand every single word we write a little bit better. The period comes at the end of every sentence. So is it this walkway to go up the ladder, right? Because the other way to do this, let me see. Just give me a second. Do we see 88 and a reflection of 88? But everything gets lost because we make too many lines in the design. Eight. 808. Has anybody seen bicycle cards? Right? But the 8 we really want to continue to use is this 8 over here and this 8 over here, the sort of bent 8 over here. You see the way it's bent? How can I ignite it a little bit more? Because this one over here, right? They're all 888, 888, and we're talking about 808. These are your bicycle cards telling you a story because the design is inside the story. So we have our alphabet here. Where did our B go? You notice that when it is a B, right? You notice that the line is this way and the line is this way, these two. And then you notice this line is this way, this line is this way. They use it in French. They use all these things in French. We created the V letter in between. The V letter equals to 5 in Roman numerals. So now we've gonna get B2, V5 if we want to mix them up. I've never really, I can use it that way, but it seems like it comes from two different games, so I'm not sure. B and E will create Q mathematically. It'll create 10J07G. In French, they say the G sounds like J, and the J sounds like G. And then this total will create 17Q, and it's all created from Earth's heart. And it seems like Earth's heart comes from Venus. I don't know why. It shouldn't. The heart should be inserted in Venus, according to this. 2 tunnels. The Venus heart. So I'm questioning. Anyways, Venus and Earth, or Venus and Luna together, and then Mercury comes together with Phobos and Deimos, the cubed world. Mercury, the cubed world. The dice and the cubed world. Phobias, the phoenix. It tells it to us right over here. These are the moons. Why? Because 1 and 4 goes together, and 2 and 3 goes together. So Venus gets Luna as a moon. Mercury gets Deimos and Phobos and Deimos. So Mercury becomes a total of, how can I do this? Mercury will become 1, 2, 3. And Venus becomes 2 because it picks up their moons. Forget about the planets. The 2 planets, me, that'll remain your DC. And that's it for that. Let me read some of the comments up here. Getting a little tired. Bear, Dog, Mac, EA Sports, absolutely. 25, 11, 18, 26. YK, or is it YAR, Yard Dog? Yard Dog, is that what you're trying to say, Michelle? Yard Dog, that's what I can see in there. It can also be 251, so it can be Venus, Mars, resident angel C, everything created through the area of 51. 11 is now 2, means Earth cycle. 2511, you can create that. Right, bear is in without. Bear with me. Bear with me. Miss, the cupboard was bare. When they're saying cupboard, are they saying the PCU was bare? Right? Little Miss Muffet, no, that she sat on her tough kit. Her tough kit. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tough kit. K11 is her creation of IT. So the spider web of Little Miss Muffet, if we go a little bit advanced, because now that they say she toughs it, tough GH, Little Misfit, Miss Muffet. And now you have Puppet, Tough Kit. And by the way, the IT system is number 29. The IT system is created to the numeric value of the sun and the church, retrograding with the church. So again, back to Miss Levette, we need some retrograde here. Never thought I'd learn what it is, but now I need to know. I probably still won't understand it. Whoop. I probably still won't understand it, but when I say retrograde, it's because I went up, and instead of going 43 plus 13, I went 43 minus 13. Where did that come from? 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 is 7 and 6. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 is 42 and 13. 42 minus 13 is 29. 42 plus 13 is 55. That is the Freedom Pass. Freedom 66, Pass 55, Freedom 55. That was what the sales were on TV. You cannot hide everything that the system needs to deliver. and how it's delivered in its honest way to know nobody is cheating is for our acceptance in a certain way, or our refusal. Bear without recommendations for a student to learn this entertainment. They can all be learning this in school. Just know your opposites of your ABCs to start. Know the number of the letter, and that's all you need to know, because the more words you know, the more words you can process, the more words you can match. Then the simplicity of the square and the diamond. Then it is to create, if you want, your colors and understand your color mixes. And as you get older and you go to play pool, you now see it as the 7th gate is now the 8th ball. The way out is the 8th ball. It's all in one in the 8th ball. Out of the game and you win. Wow, I never used the game win. Win and pull, knock, hit, put, maneuver, the 8 ball. Is it all about the 8 ball getting back into the other gate? Does that mean the other gate is not here? Is Neptune the other gate? Imagine an elastic band. They put it down your throat and out the other end. Something like that. Or it's at 2 ends, you know, that imagine your blood is moving, right? There's a little ball in between here and here. Whoop, this is your life. When you die, this string unattaches and it goes zip. But that was only the lifeline. You're not even here. You're not here. Not one bit, not all, except for this. And because of up there, of what you're letting up there do down here. But it ain't telling you the whole secret, because it wouldn't be fair. Not only would it not be fair, I don't know if you'd be able to handle this with the programmation of the human body, of its acceptance. Some yes, some no. Now that I've accepted it, and it's really freaky, now you have to live here and go with the punches. I don't know anything of the planets either. I don't know nothing. I know all their names, but the more you know, the more information you have in your head that you might be able to use or not. It really doesn't make a difference. Everybody just has to have their own. We just have to share that if tomorrow, no secretary, we're just going to work with the secretaries right now, male, female, I don't care what color, how tall you are, what you look like. If you do your job right, that's it. That's who you are. None of the secretaries go in to do any of the filing for 30 days. And the people of the planet will pay them a salary for them to stay home and they can eat. Who can afford it? How will we come together and organize that we can pay every single secretary that does paperwork to stay home for 30 days? Can we do it? Can you just manufacture money just like that? Because you know what that will do? That will stop everything in its tracks. The only ones we're going to have to let go in are those moving the closest food around your area that will let you survive for the next 30 to 60 days. And after that, our own gardens begin to grow. And now instead of shipping your stuff outside where you get more money, you get more money somewhere else and all your security disappears. Know why. Learn why and understand what is going on. We live in a system, well-oiled, well-orchestrated, understood but misunderstood completely, and abused. Total abuse in the entertainment world of news. The fraudulent and abusive news. Who knows it? If all I say is a few words. Knowledgeable. To know the difference. Knock, knock, who's there? Let's use the word win. 23 plus 9 plus 14 equals to 46. Win, Zion is real. 0. DC, hot and cold, blue and red and purple, and 2 and 10 and 3 and 11 and 4 and 12 and 4 and 3 and 3 and 2 and 2 and 1. Where'd all this come from? Like out of nowhere, right? Not me. Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me, any of this. 23rd letter, 9th letter, 14th letter. How do we create it? 7 times 2, 7 plus 2 equals to 14, equals to 9, the letter N, the letter I. The total is 23, the letter W, win. 7 times 2. This is an association with 3 times 5, 3 plus 5. Equals W, H, O. Win who? 14 and 15 come together as 3.1415. They create a total of 29, 9, 2. They create a total of 5 and 6, 6, 5. And those are the beginning of pi. And it says no 11 craps student. Let's just say no student. We get the red and blue. We get the red and blue because DC is number 43, or it can be CDC as 34. And the numeric value for hot and cold is 43 and 34. 3 numbers. The reverse of this is 81. So it would be 38, and that would be gold. Gold is hot, and this is 4 letters, and that would be 4 times 27 is 108. So this would be 74. Hot Jesus of the church. Creation heaven from DC equals 77 of the Christ equals to 112. I have nothing to say. 28, 28, 28, 28, 28. 112 divided by 28 equals 4 moons. 4 moons of Christ, the cycle, 3 moons and 1 moon. If you're lost, I'll help you out. The blue, the 2 ball and the 10 ball in pool, 2 plus 1, 2 and 1. The red, 3 and 11 in pool, 3, 1 and 1 is 2. The 4 equals to the purple ball along with the 12 ball. 4 and 3 DC. Purple owns DC, bottom of the rainbow. Created by hot and blue, which created the 77, which is the Christ. The Christ of Gringo. So the 8, the word 8, equals to 49, which is 7 by 7, equals 49 and 14. So it goes through the Christ in the 8 ball to become a winner. Place the ball to win. Number 23, 28, and 9 is 37. Place the ball to win. Nibiru. I'm just trying to look at the number for this. 38 plus 3, 5, 10. 2, 7, 10. 2, 7, 10, and 5. 38, 48, 53. 53, 23. So 23 is created by 27. So they break apart and come together, these two. And sorry. Wow, my camera wasn't showing it. Sorry about that. Place is number 37. Quebec is number 53. To create 23, it's 27. To create 37, you'll use number 31. There's 2 ways to create that. I do not know the official way. I don't remember. But this is 7 times 3 equals 21. 7 plus 3 equals 10. So it becomes 31. So what was 37, right, now becomes 31. And how did I create that? Just give me a second. How did I create? Oh, yes, yes. The 0 gets 6 and it becomes 37 again. So in 31 in creation in that part. Anyways, I'm starting to go backwards in my talking. So we're going to end the video and take a look at the last comments over here. Anything to do with ET at the end. Reading Rainbow. I hear 808 from those who post on 333. The 3 little pigs, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days for the pregnancy, the 21 days for the eggs to hatch for the chicken who lays an egg 6 days in a row, who skips the 7th day and continues on to lay the chicken eggs. Okay, I'm going to, thanks, Michelle. I'm going to put that in my copy. Oh yeah, gematria. They're all big. Everything does everything, but the final one for me is the mixture of English and French, a little Spanish, a little. I don't know Italian. I haven't used it yet. I'd like to add a little bit more Greek. I'd like to know a little bit more Russian because the letters are backwards, telling me they have the inside of both sides of this world. Like Russia is like somewhere else. It's not fully. Somewhere in Russia is not fully in this world. It's like somehow they're somewhere else because of how they're using their letters. They have learned different. The Chinese, the Asian, also, in fact, all parts of the world are a little bit somewhere else. Where it is, what it is, I don't know. I can't explain it. I know big time Russia because their letters are square, easy to note. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for taking part, for doing our part. How do we do this? How do we have it? Will it come to us because it's a digital world and everything was, or do we have to really get out on our and you know what I'm saying? I can't say too much censorship going on. Just know that we need to share the truth of the ABCs. Maybe it's going to be the ABC that wakes up everybody. Just everybody know the basic ABC, know the basic arts, know the basic things about a grid that can easily be learned right over here, right now. I'm going to do one last little piece over here. This is just terrible, my lighting, eh? This sucks. Okay, so let's just do this. I need to have a little bit of good lighting here. This sucks. Hold on a second. Okay, here it is. Let's see. Let's see if I can get any of this. Okay, didn't work much better. Let me see this. This is just terrible. You know, I mean, I can't make a good video because of this. This sucks. This really sucks. Okay, maybe that's not this light. Maybe I'm gonna try it with this next light over here. Okay, it'll be what it'll be. Maybe it's my light. Maybe it's my light on my computer here. Let me just see. 4K view downloaders, network, focus assist. Project Connect Nightlight. Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay, so let's just do it. Here's a box. Here's one box. Here's two boxes. How many ways can you put the two boxes? Okay. Then there's the angle. Then there's this. These are the two smallest shapes. Here is a 45-degree angle. If I assume right, this is the 180-degree line. This is the 90-degree split. If I take the 90-degree split and I create the 45 angle, I'm creating the 45 angle. Okay, I'm creating that 45 angle right here. And you see the split? This is an obligation. What if I would have went to here? I can't go to here because of the obligation of this line. So it's either here or here. But I can't go here unless I start from the center over here. These are all obligations to follow the lines. They're telling me a story. Which story, I don't really know right now. But in my story over here, it seems like the two flows will connect together. Since this is the 45 angle, it is the 45 angle in the 0, 90, 180, 225th degree mark, which is 135 degrees on the minus side. Can we say counterclockwise? Does that mean retrograde? Another thing to understand, in order for the reader to know something and to read for a complete cycle, you have to have in, go around the reader, okay, and then go out. And then go, just 1 second. And then go around the reader and then go out. And then go around the reader and then go out. And every time you go out and around the reader, there's another reader. So you're always being read as you go. And as you go through, this is the beginning of your first WV. How about Volkswagen for life? So there's a, and everyone is 8. Notice all the 8s that are inside of this. So this is basically what I do is obligations of the lines. Okay, I'm not going to get into all of them right now, but the real thing is to know your ABCs at the best you could. That's right, ABC. 1, 2, 3, ABC, 1, 2, 3. I love Michael Jackson. Not only that, it is A and B that will add up to create C. It is C and A that will add up to create D. And it is the baby of A and C that will create D again. 22 for life. You ever hear 25 years to life? The numeric value of Earth's heart is 25 to life. So anyways, 1 and 2 that create C also create Jack and 5. Why? Because the word Jack is numeric value 25. It starts with the letter J. The addition of A, B, C, D equals to 10, which is the letter J. Jack equals to 25. And 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 will equal 2 and 3, BC, before the Christ, and that will equal 5. Michael Jackson, Jack equaling to 25. Michael Jackson, ABC, Jackson 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 is the value of 1/4, Earth's heart, which is a reflection in time of 15, where 15 or 15 seconds is 1/4 of the 60-second clock. And our clock should actually be 96 seconds per minute, in which 6 seconds are lost to the flow inside of us as it's flowing. It comes into you and it flows in 6 seconds, 6 or 7, right? And the same thing for that flow is a video stream. Count up your video streams and see what the flow actually should be, or a radio streaming of some sort, and see what the amount of seconds, because everything has to fit into the system or it doesn't work, right? Take your computer in, bring it in, see everything that something's missing, it won't work. Anyways, Raphael, 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Pick up some of these. 6 with 3 void. It is the only true 7. You don't need the 4 because you don't need the 4. You don't need the 2, and you don't need the 3 because it lives in 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. You don't need them all because the 4 is in the 5 and the 6. And you have 10 with 11 equaling to your 21. 11 equaling to your blackjack. Your 5 and 6 is everything. Here is your 1 and 8. Reflected only with 6 because 1 automatically gets 2 spaces. Automatically. 3.5 or 11 craps is the center. Electric company is the core of this. The 1 dot is in the 5 position. The 2 is in the 3 and 7 or 1 and 9 position. To go around, why is it such a distance between 1 and 9 on your cross dial? Then 3 and 7, because when 3 and 7, you go straight through the river. But the 1 to 5, you got to go over the bridge and over the 9. 5 is in this game passing over. Beam me in, Scotty. The relevancy of 5. Raphael, 7286, and the song tells me what you think about it. Which song? ABC, Easy as 1, 2, 3. I would play it right now. I love it. Me, Michael Jackson, I love it. He wasn't the first to do the moonwalk. If you want to know anything about moonwalk, look back to the 50s, 40s, and 30s. And thank you for watching. If you have anything to say, I have an email. Don't be shy. You never say to anybody, please like the channel and like the video. I get 1 like. But that's okay because I can't look at that. I can't think of it. Everybody has to take into their own. Just know the truth. A plus B plus C equals 6. A, B, C is the first, second, and third letter. 1 times 2 times 3 equals 6, and that is our Corona roadway. Because 66 also is woman. 66 is freedom, which they tell you back in the years it was freedom 55 and the spirit of 76. Look up the spirit of 76. Know it all. And it is what it is. Thank you for watching this video. Yeah, let the kids rock with their ABCs. Thank you. Good day.